Now we will move on to our civil engineering panel. Please welcome Mr. Henrique and Mr. Ibrahim to give us a talk on civil engineering.
And first of all, thank you. My name is Henrique Tochtrop. I'm from Brazil, obviously, and I'm currently working and living in Germany. Well, my topic today is going to be project management, which I think is a powerful tool for young engineers and to develop through our careers. Well, let's start. Small introduction, first of all. I live in the city of Dresden, which is in Saxony. It is this beautiful city, and like Baku, it's really beautiful, and I also would like to invite you to visit us. Well, it is famous for being bombed in the Second World War, completely destroyed the center, and fortunately, we completely rebuilt it, and it's pretty beautiful. So the downside is, if you want to kind of practice your German, which of course you do, they have the worst accent in Germany, actually, but they are lovely people, and you will be welcomed. Well, and now it's not a fun fact, actually. At the when I ended my presentation, we had about 12 cases. It's 30 cases of coronavirus. And I come to that later back. Well, let's move forward. This is where I work. It's called the Universitätsklinikum Dresden. It's a healthcare facility. It's the maximum healthcare that you can get in Germany. There are about 35 Uniklinikum in Germany, and we are currently the second best one. Well, like I said, this is a folder that we distribute during our facility because our patients get lost. We have more than 5,000 workers, we have more than 60 buildings, and we have a special department, the Division of Construction and Technology. And I work at the Department of Construction Management, which it is, we are responsible for every reformation construction works that takes place in these 60 buildings. Well, we are about 10 project managers who delivers per year 350 projects. That's about 35 projects per year. Well, how do we do that without turning into case? It's a really special facility. It has patients, it has sick people, and we do a lot of noise. Well, we apply project management in a mature way. And sometimes we don't even know that we are applying project management. But in the construction site, you really have to do in a high level. And you can not only in civil engineering, but engineering, and in your personal life, you can apply as well project management. In a social event like this, for example. And as a teacher or as a student doing research, you can do as well. Well, to do this, actually, you have to have a project. And what is a project? A project has actually 4 fundamental characteristics. It has a time, a start and an end. You can't take forever to finish something. Second, you have to have a goal, an outcome. You have to show results at the end. And of course, it has to have benefit. Why change something for worse? Change it for the best. Well, and of course, it has allocation of resources. And that means you're going to need people, you're going to need material, and you're going to need money. Well, if you have a project, then you can apply project management. And it's actually a structured approach to have success with your team to achieve those goals. In other words, it's like an invisible structure that you build, and any project that you will have, you will apply the same process so you can deliver it successful at the end. Well, this is actually the most important chart. It's the life cycle of a project. Every project that we have has 4 phases. It has the initiation phase, planning phase, execution phase, and closure. And during the whole process, you have to monitor and review it consistently. Well, I will explain a little more detail next. And at the end, or during the whole time, you have to balance these 3 things. It's like a triangle. and they're all connected. You have to assure we're going to make it on time. We have to assure that we have the resources, and we have to assure that the scope also doesn't change. If the final users wants more from you without, at the beginning, arranging it, you have to explain it. It will cost more time and more resources. It's really connected. And, well, let's start again. Let's go to the initial phase. For example, at the Universitätsklinikum, it's time to work. It's time actually to write down what the problem is, what is the solution, maybe 1 or 2 solutions, what is going to cost, and what is going to take time. And then you give first to approval. The user has to approve, and your boss has to approve. And then also identify the stakeholders. Stakeholders are the people that are interesting for this change that you are making. They know it is going to be important for them, so they have a lot of interests, and you have to keep them satisfied through the whole process, and also communicate it with them sometimes. Well, if you have the green line, you go to the planning phase. And that's a really important phase. Don't rush to the execution. Takes time. Go slowly. It's important. And now you're going to refine, actually, what you started to plan. Well, you will see everything that you have to do, everything work that is needed. You will gather your team. Now it's time to assemble the Avengers and try to schedule the work during the whole time. And most important as well, try to see where the risks are and what you can do. Let's do a small exercise. Let's see, like we are planning an event. I don't know, a symposium, a second global engineering symposium. What could be the risks back in 2019? Maybe a disease, maybe a virus, coronavirus? Okay, just for fun, let's put it. The probability, I would say back in 2019, almost 0. The risk, huge. Actually, the impact could be huge. And what can we do to risk mitigation? Well, we can cancel the event. No, that's not possible. We are going to make changes. We're going to work harder. We're going to adapt the project or the event and make it deliver the same quality that we already planned at the beginning. Well, what could more happen? Maybe power breakdown? Yeah, of course. We could not have energy. What could we do? We could wait. It's a solution. We could put candles. It's also, or we could plan and have a generator. So that are some risks that are involved in healthcare facilities in Germany. We have to take care fire prevention as well, power cut, noise, vibration, and being clean. Although we make dirt, we are construction souvenirs. So we have to be really careful about this. And communicate to our team. Communication is essential in this part. Well, let's go to the execution phase. But first, let's make a small meeting. Everything is ready. Everything is in place. Let's gather and let's go through all the things we planned. Well, once again, don't be shy to write it down. It's important to have protocols. It's important to have a piece of paper worked and signed with date, which the agreements that you and your team and the user agreed to do it. It will save you a lot of problems, especially with your lawyer. So, execution, we start. Now it's time to actually controlling. It's time to supervision. You as project manager, you have to know exactly what is going on. You have to inform the team, inform the user, and maybe the people near you that is going to be bothered with the noise and so on. Well, and in this phase, like I said at the beginning, monitoring is always essential, first from the beginning till the end. And in this part, it is more visible. You have to have control. We, for example, we have weekly meetings with the boss, and he will ask you, where are you now in your project? And you don't answer, I don't know. You have to know exactly where is going on, what's going on. Otherwise, it's lack of project management. Well, we are almost there. Everything is finished. The biggest part we have done, we can now deliver to the final user. Well, let's write again. Let's make a document. Let's give this person, sign it by him and by you. At that point, it's under his responsibility. So, execution, yeah? Wait, here, closing, yeah? So you did it, you closed your project, finally. And it is over? Not yet. You signed contracts with your team, pay them, first of all. And second, if you're going to do a similar project in the future, maybe you can learn from this experience that you have. So write it down, maybe for your future self, or maybe for another project manager that will use this knowledge in 10 years. So, and don't forget the revision documentation, because you have to do maintenance in facilities. And it's good to don't forget to charge the people that did it, that they have delivered it. So finally, we're through it. Oh, very good. But who is going to do this whole work? It's actually the project manager. And nowadays, he looks like this. He likes to work at front of the computer. He has to be aware of everything that's going on. He has to drink a lot of coffee, because sometimes it's exhausting, or Azerbaijani tea. It's actually pretty good. And like I said, the key responsibilities is back to the canvas, back to the journey. He has to know everything from start to end. He has to report everybody that asks him what is going on the project. The boss, the users, and the team. He has to know where he is and where he's going. And do a lot of paperwork. He has to report, because sometimes only what you said is not important. You have to prove it as well. So some key skills for being a good project manager, it's actually, first of all, know some project management skills. Apply this invisible structure. Wait a minute, and also managing skills. They are really useful. You have to deal with people and so on. Don't forget technical skills. You're an engineer. You have to do what you're building. So, what are the key success factors? It's actually, first, and the most important for me, be organized. Be organized during the whole project. Be organized with the documentation. Know where to find it when you need it. And second of all, be communicative. I'm a shy person, really. And I learned that communication is key skill, not only by writing, but also by the meetings. You have to be clear, and you don't have to waste the time. You have to be direct. It's really important. So, and don't forget, be a leader, a leadership. And the main goal, don't forget ever, it's the balance. From the beginning, you have to deliver the results, always keeping in mind that you have a budget to maintain, and you have to deliver it on time, always. So we love to do an analogy, what is actually being a project manager. And for us, the best analogy is like being a captain of a vessel, a captain of a ship. You have to supervise your team, you have to go from A to B, you have to be aware of the weather, you have to be aware of the variables, and you have to see if there's any pirate ship coming. So communication is essential, and so on. It's the perfect analogy. Well, final considerations. Actually, unfortunately, project management, it's not something you can sell. It's not a product, but it's a special behavior. It reflects a mature way of dealing project and applying this structure that really help you get success at the end. Well, and the final message is it actually depends only on the project manager and his skills, the overall success of a project. And if this presentation was actually like a coffee, like to give you a kick up. If you struggle sometimes at your career, feeling, like you failed or that you didn't deliver a good project, then remember me and go to work. Try to read. But first of all, go to bed, have sleep, and so on. Well, and just to finish, to show also how important it is, we've talked about reaching goals and benefits. So last week, we received from the federal government permission to build a facility to receive the coronavirus patients at the Universitätsklinikum Dresden. So the most experienced project manager, my boss, a German one, she took the responsibility, and only in 2 days the facility was ready. So it is really important to be a good project manager, because you do change something good. You will bring value. You will help your final users. You will help people that are involved with the project, and most important of all, you will help the community. So thank you for your attention, and I hope you have a nice time. Bye.